So this is kind of a follow-up video to the video where we talked about um, seeing actual bugs and fish and everything in nature, and seeing how they acted, trying to follow them in their more natural or natural-like habitats. And on the flip side, a couple days later, we went to one of those indoor places where you can actually directly interact with several different animals. They had parrots, sloths, they had like alpaca and penguins, and it was just a small place that they had a wide range of animals. They had owls and cats and dogs, and I'd say, and they had rabbits and all sorts of birds. And the ones I think that my son enjoyed interacting with the most were just the little chicks, the newly born chicks that are like, I think they were at most something like 2 or 3 weeks old, so those chicks grow really fast. Pick them up. There were so many of them that you don't rush over when they think you might have food. It's pretty fun doing that. There was actually one of the dogs there had the same name as my son, so I'm not gonna reveal that, but you can. But there was it's funny when you find an animal with the same name as you at those places. So I think on the flip side of like when we went and sort of looked at all sorts of different animals in their more natural habitats, you get a feel for how animals normally are. But when you go into one of these more controlled environments, you get, they have information displayed for you, like the size of the animal, the weight of the animal, what their likes and dislikes are, and all that sort of information just laid out for you to make it really easy to learn about the animals. And then on top of that, you can actually go up and just touch or interact with most of them. And a lot of the animals are ones that you wouldn't easily just find in nature. For example, I don't think there are a lot of places in Japan, where we live in Japan, where you can just, go for a walk and run into like a penguin or something somewhere, or even a sloth. So these are kind of animals that you don't easily find in nature anyway. I wouldn't say it's necessarily zero, but it's probably pretty close. Even like parrots and I don't think you find parrots in the wild very often either. Unless you're living on like a farm or something, you probably don't even find the chicks or cows and horses and alpaca and all of that. So it's a good way to actually go and see animals that you probably couldn't see otherwise, unless you were very well connected or had a lot of resources to just go. I'm gonna go see penguins today. And that's I think difficult for most people. So being able to go to some place like this and actually touch these animals, see how they react around people for one, and learn about them. It's a good experience for them. So that was just a quick update on sort of comparing, interacting with finding animals and creatures in the wild, as opposed to sort of an enclosed place where you can actually interact with them. And I guess in a similar way, a zoo, we've taken my son to the zoo before too. He enjoys the zoo pretty much, but most of the animals you can't really interact with directly at the zoo, so this was a nice change from that, where it's not just learning about or observing the animals, but actually being able to get up close to them and really learn about them more that way. Anyway, it's just a quick little video there on sort of how that connects with studying the biology and well, maybe not quite to that level for a 6-year-old, but learning more about animals. And that should, I don't know if it will directly help with any of the tests that we're taking soon, but I think it will give him a sense of how animals act, how they react to things that they might perceive as a threat or something that's unknown or anything like that. Anyway, just a short update, so please like, subscribe, and level up.